Hey folks, Cool18 here, and welcome to Let's Try Big Pharma. This game's been on my radar for quite some time. I've been following the development diaries throughout the building process of this game, which is developed by Twice Circled. It came on my radar because it's being published by Positech Games, the same company who makes things like Gratuitous Space Battles, for example. And I knew that I would enjoy it quite a bit. I hadn't gotten around to playing it until just recently. It just came out an actual retail release on Steam. It is available right now. And I figured let's go ahead and play a couple of levels. Now, all I've done is play through the tutorials to make sure that I've got that correct, and I haven't played through any of the actual scenarios left yet. You can see there's quite a few different scenarios across different difficulties. So, like, there's 5 scenarios under Advanced, 5 under Quick Start, and so on and so forth. There's also a free build mode over there where you don't have any particular goals. I'm going to go ahead and start with just the very first beginner tutorial over here, which is to earn a total revenue of $1 million within 10 years. So this is a tycoon-y game about building medications and drugs to sell to the world. So the company name is going to be, I don't know, let's say Brussels Inc. And we've got a few different possibilities for what our person is going to look like. I don't know, I think I kind of like this guy right over here. We're going to incorporate and get started. So this is the building space that we have for our factory. We start with one little area over here, and go ahead and just hit pause to make sure that everything doesn't advance without us. And so we have a little bit of building space. We can expand into the rest of, I suppose, this factory or warehouse, and then we can also buy some adjacent spaces as well. The space is going to be pretty important because you are really limited in what you can build depending on how much space you have available for it. So I think I can go ahead and minimize the objectives tab over there. So we're going to start building soon, but what are we going to build? Well, let's take a look at what ingredients we have available to us. So on this panel here, we have a variety of ingredients that will make themselves available to us throughout the game. We start with only 2 right now. We've got the spotted silica crystal and the acidic cloud fruit crystal. Nice, interesting little names. And you can see what these things do. These silica crystals here have 2 effects. One is actually a side effect. It gives you dry mouth over here. And the other is antihistamine effect. So it's, good to combat allergies, for example. And it also tells you how much money this is worth. So this is worth 35 bucks for us to purchase per unit. But if we sell a medicine with an antihistamine effect, we can make up to 105 bucks. Or 105 bucks is the base value for this. It will be improved if we make a really good version that's in the exact perfect sweet spot for a concentration wise, but it will also decrease if it has a side effect. And right now, using just sort of this ingredient as is, if we just basically break it down into pill form and sell it instantly, we can go ahead and make an antihistamine that has a dry mouth effect, for example, here. So there's a few things you can figure out. First of all, actually, the antihistamine is not currently active. If we mouse over this bar, this is the current concentration, so this is going to come in at a concentration of 1. The antihistamine is only active in a concentration from 2 to 8. Dry mouth is active from 2 to 10. So actually right now, if we just went and turned this into a pill, it would literally do nothing. But if we bump the concentration up to a 2, the antihistamine effect will become active, as will the dry mouth, so there'll be a side effect, but this should be a pretty cheap pill to produce. Over here, the acidic cloud fruit crystal. This has a positive effect of soothes cough, so we can make cough drops with it. However, it also can cause headaches. What's nice about this one, though, is you can see the active range of the acidic cloud fruit crystals soothes cough effect is from 6 to 13, whereas cause headaches is only from 4 to 12. So in theory, if we brought our concentration up to 13, we could have a version of this that soothes cough without a side effect. However, it would be quite expensive for us to do that, so I don't think that's going to be quite within our reach. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and start with the spotted silica crystals. You can see here there's going to be a lot of other possible cures down the road, and if we hire some explorers, we can go and find some more ingredients. So we're going to wait on that a little bit, but soon enough we're going to go ahead and try to discover more ingredients and see what we can get out of it. We've got a list of cures that we know about. So for example, right now we do have the soothes coughs and antihistamine possibility. It's also possible to upgrade these. If we go back and look at the ingredients over here, you can see if I mouse over the word here, you can see if I get my concentration of the antihistamine effect between 4 and 6, and then run the the product through a dissolver, it will actually change from an antihistamine effect to an alleviates insomnia effect. So we've got a few possibilities for different drugs down the road. There's also research over here where you can unlock additional components for processing your medication, and then an overall company tab. We're going to look back at that a little bit later. We do have one opponent over here, Barclay Industries. But we're going to go right to the production floor and start working on this. So we've got a couple of spots where we can import and export medication. I'll go ahead and let's say this one over here, I will import the spotted silica crystal. This should be a pretty easy thing to work with. Now, right here, we can see again, if we click on this, that's what we're importing, the silica crystal, and we can find out the current status. It's got a concentration of 1. So let's bump it up to a concentration 2, throw it into a pill, and then sell it as is. Really nice and easy to get started. So under our basic tools over here, we've got a few things that aren't unlocked yet, but we have 2 that are unlocked: the dissolver and the evaporator. Evaporator increases concentration by 1, and a dissolver lowers concentration by 1. So obviously we're going to want an evaporator. So we're going to grab this. You can see there's a green arrow for an intake or an input, and a red arrow for the output, and we can rotate this around if we want. So I guess what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and try to maximize how much space we'll have left over for other things. I'm going to go ahead and stick it right up against the wall over here, and then I'm going to grab the belt and just drag it out there. Now, if I go ahead and unpause the game, we should start to get some of these silica crystals that come in that will tick forward with every day, so I'm paying my input cost, and then it'll come here and we'll start running through the machine. Now, there we go. The concentration increases by 1, activating dry as mouth and antihistamine. Now, it can't go anywhere. We are going to have to get it into pill form. So let's go ahead and go into our makers. We've got a pill printer over here. And let's go and rotate it. Yeah, that looks pretty good like that. So now we can do this, and now it will put the medication into a pill form. And then we can sell pills that are good for allergy relief. So we're going to just run that all the way over to the output over there. Now, one of the things that's interesting about this game, and adds a little bit of complexity, you can see the evaporator has a processing time of 1. It will process every tick, whereas the pill printer only has a processing time of 2, which means it will take 2 ticks to make a pill. So we can actually improve our output rate a little bit if we throw a second pill printer right there, and then just drag that like that.
Product name required.
And it'll run both pill printers. And we need a product name, so our product is ready to be exported and sold onto the market. It gives you an automatic name, the Brussels Allergy Reliever. So, how about Itchy Eyes Go. Oops, I can't see it. Go away. Right? Makes your itchy eyes go away. One of the symptoms of allergies, and now it's being sold out there. And we can get some information. If we go to our company tab, we can see here our itchy eyes go away. Currently has a cure rating of C.
A competitor has released a new product.
Ooh, let's go ahead and pause the game while we talk, and then we're going to evaluate that. Currently has a cure rating of C, which is the default. And the question is, how does that change, and how does it affect things? Well, if you can get your, if you can cure more allergies. So in this case, the more frequently the antihistamine works, your cure rating will go up. The more frequently your side effects trigger, your cure rating will go down. We've sold 4, and out of those 4, 1 person had their allergies soothed, and 1 person developed dry mouth. It might be the same person, or there might be 2 different people. All in all, our medication's not necessarily working that terribly great, although this is a small sample size. We'll have to come back later when we've got a few more. The current value of the pill is 126, though, which isn't bad. It's actually a little bit higher than what we would expect as a base, with the antihistamine saying 106. Why are we getting a little bit more? Well, as it turns out, our pill producer over here adds value, increases combined value by $20. So our pill has a slightly higher combined value, as you can see it right here, 126. There's the raw material cost, the total processing cost of the entire chain, which means our profit is about 61 per pill. And then if we can improve things, that's great. As it turns out, there is a sweet spot, a concentration sweet spot for all of these effects, for both the positive effects and the negative side effects. And if you can, there's a machine you can get later on, the analyzer over here, which will show you what the sweet spots for both of those things are. So what you actually try to do at that point is try to get as close as possible to the sweet spot of your positive effects and as far away from the sweet spot of your negative effects to minimize the negative effects, amplify the positive effects, but always keeping in mind your overall production chain costs. It doesn't make sense to increase the value of your end product by $10 if it's going to cost you an extra $20 to get there, for example. We're starting to think like an evil drug company. Our bottom line is the only thing that matters. We don't care how effective things are. Just noticed the watermark was a little too thick on this video, so we're going to go ahead and toggle that off over there. Okay, so that's our first production chain. Things are pretty good. We do have a second ingredient, so we can get another pill, but let's go ahead and see our competitor over here and see what he's doing. Barclay is making a diabetes decreaser. Can we go to his company? Oh yes, we can actually. So he's made a pill that treats diabetes with apparently no side effect. Holy cow, he's going to be making some serious bucks. The competition is interesting because it's not always necessarily direct competition. For example, in this scenario, our only goal is to make $1 million in revenue overall, which might mean like you don't necessarily care what your opponent does. The problem is there's such a thing as like patents and different things where first person to get a cure gets certain benefits, but we'll get back to that. In any case, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a second production chain for our second ingredient, that's for sure. We could also consider maybe working on this alleviates insomnia. But we're going to go ahead and get started on an explore. We're going to unlock one. Now, if we leave him here, he's going to develop upgrade points, which I could spend, say, for example, upgrading my silica crystals to get a 10% discount on purchase, which might not be too bad. If I start a second production chain with silica crystals to work out the alleviates insomnia, then all of a sudden, it might be really nice to just get a big discount on this. On the other hand, it might be nice to unlock some different types of cures to come in. So for now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and put him to try to discover these moon ferns and see if we can find something there. I'm also going to go ahead and get a scientist and see what we might want to unlock here. Yeah, more stuff. What else might we want? I don't know. Can unlock the agglomerator, which is like an upgraded or more intense version of the evaporator over here, because the evaporator increases concentration by 1, this increases by 3. It's more expensive to run, this one here, but it's a lot more space efficient. So that might not be a bad thing to start getting. We've got alternate delivery. So we can start making creams. Put products into a box, that might be good. If we go and unlock basic auxiliary, then we can work on unlocking the analyzer to find those sweet spots. And then we've got a few more advanced processing things over here. What I think I'm going to do is leave the scientist in here for now. We'll see if we can get an upgrade point to cheapen something over here. We're going to wait and see until we know if we need an advanced device to upgrade it. Oh, actually we do. So the antihistamine can be upgraded with the dissolver, which we already have. But to upgrade the soothes cough to an eases asthma, we need an agglomerator unlocked. So you know what? Let's go ahead and start working on that with our scientist. That looks pretty good. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and do the thing where we start a second production chain with the same ingredient, just to show the upgrade process that's possible. So first of all, right over here, we are going to be importing more silica crystals. Secondly, we know from here, we need to get our concentration. Actually, you know what? We're not going to do this because we need to get the concentration up to a 4 to 6 to upgrade this to the next level of cure. And I wonder if that's worthwhile. The level 2 cures are worth a lot more than the level 1s. Antihistamine is level 1, insomnia is level 2. I suppose we could get there. We would need to run it through 3 evaporators. Sure, let's do it. So, how's the best way to arrange these guys? I guess that's a fine start. And then like that. And then... yeah, maybe like this is fine. Can't use the arrow keys to scroll. You can use WASD though. Oops, not that. Like that. Like that. Alright, so that will get its concentration up to a 4. At which point we want to run it through a dissolver. Which will change it to the cure insomnia. So let's go ahead and run at high speed over here. So we can follow it. Yeah, there's a 2. As soon as it goes through here, it'll go up to a 3, and then over here, it's going to turn into a 4. Boom. So now if I mouse over here, oops, if I click on this guy, sorry, concentration of 4, he can be upgraded. In fact, the dissolver is going to do just that. Wow! To actually alleviate the insomnia, we've got to get its concentration up super high. This may have been an error here. I think I could have checked that. Yeah, I could have checked that in here. So I got to get its concentration up to a 12. And I don't know if the money is going to be worth it. Right now, we've got a bunch of inactive medication. And we're not going to go to reduce anxiety. So we are working on the agglomerator, which is good. I guess what we'll do is... Can I assign a second scientist? Oh, no, I can only assign one. Alright, well, you sit there, do that. Maybe we'll leave you over here for upgrade points. It would be nice to get the evaporators and dissolvers a little cheaper. So yeah, I'll leave you there. That's fine. It's 30 bucks a day, plus a big upfront cost to hire them. And yeah, so we'll have to sort of wait. Meanwhile, this is just sort of sitting there, not doing anything. Well, that's unfortunate. Let's go ahead and start another production chain with the crystal over here. So, we need to get it up by 2 to soothe costs. It'll still give headaches, but that's going to be fine. So, evaporator. Followed by another evaporator. And a couple of pill printers. Whoops.
Invalid position.
Shush. Yeah, stop being a T-joint. There we go. There we are. Do that. Do that. Combine. And go there. There we go. Soothes costs. Still causes headaches, but it is soothing coughs. And then we're going to go ahead and sell that as is. And then we're just going to wait until our research goes. Now, right now, we are losing money. I think we're paying maintenance on these guys. It's a bit unfortunate, but we have a new product. Chesty cough relief. This is going to be Air Belgium. It's going to be like breathing in fresh Belgian air if Belgium was a thing. And that's what clears your cough. So we're going to go ahead and ship that out. And we are still currently losing money. Now, we do have some extra researchers and everything going, so that's not helping. Let's check our drugs over here. Well, not bad. All right. Total administered 47. So less than half the people taking the itchy eyes go away are actually getting their allergic reactions soothed out. That's pretty poor. Meanwhile, the cough is actually doing pretty well. Out of 20 people who took it, 19 people lost their cough and only 3 headaches. That's really nice. We actually might end up with a slightly higher rating over here and make some more money out of that, which would be a beautiful thing.
New ingredient discovered.
Excellent. Okay, let's go ahead and just quickly pause here at the spacebar. Now, one of the things we can actually see is the market demand. The percentage there is the demand for a certain drug on the market. And right now, we're still over 100%, which is good. Still a lot of people who are interested in this, so we'll make a little bit of extra money, which is good. Sufferers, number of people who suffer from, who need the antihistamines, quite a bit, so there's a big market. And supplied, and who are permanently cured. I don't think we permanently cure it. I don't know, maybe we could. Okay, so we got a couple more pop-ups over here. So we've discovered the agglomerator, which is nice. And what I think I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to go ahead and fire a scientist, because we aren't making that much money right now, although we will once we are able to sell that better pill. And we got a new ingredient. We got the ductile xalic acid gas that we discovered from that fern or whatever. This can soothe cold symptoms, but will cause constipation. Now, some of the side effects can be removed. For example, this one here, if we brought the concentration to somewhere between 13 to 17 and ran it through an evaporator, it would actually remove the causes of constipation completely. But that's a pretty big investment. This, however, isn't bad. And it's actually pretty easy to upgrade to antibiotic as well. It's very easy to upgrade to antibiotic. Okay, we'll look into this momentarily. I like that. That's very nice. Okay, right, over here, we now have, alleviates insomnia is in the right zone. So we're going to go ahead and start, and see, we did all these evaporators. We really could have just used agglomerators from the start, but we didn't have them available, and I didn't realize we'd need them. So we are going to have to string this through quite a bit, because right now it's got a concentration of 3, it's got to go to 11, much like Spinal Tap. So after this, it's going to be 6. and then 9, and then 12. Do these all have a processing rate of 1? They do. So we'll do that, and then a couple of pill pushers. That will work nicely. Belt that goes... No. No.
Insufficient funds.
Really?
Insufficient funds.
Alright, let's take out a loan. We just need a little baby loan. Loans are us. Fine.
Invalid position.
It's not invalid. There we go. And there. Okay, if you hold control, you actually get a lot more precision for laying them out. There's more options there. Okay, I think this should work. Let's go ahead and start the game up again. Oh, no! Missing a connection right there. There we go. This will have no side effects either, and it's worth, look at this, 289 as a base, which is pretty good. Now, we are having to process it through a lot of things, so now we're in concentration of 6. Now concentration of 9. We'll be at 12 after this. Don't know where the sweet spot is for insomnia. Might be at the top, might be at the bottom end, might be right in the middle. We have no idea, not until we can start running the analyzer. Okay, processing the pills, and they'll start advancing. And yeah, our money per day is pretty poor.
Product name required.
Okay, Brussels Unbroken Sleep. I like it. Or could have been called Dreaming of Brussels, maybe. Okay.
A competitor has released a new product.
Histamine Buster? Really? Because we have that product here. So, alleviates insomnia. We have that going on. It's a level 2 cure. Looks like maybe about 50% effective. No side effects, though, which is really nice. Look at this. Air Belgium's actually gone up to a C+, so it's got a 5% bonus to its value. Really nice. Okay. Ooh, you actually have that. We have a lot of evaporators. I'm going to upgrade you, lowering the evaporated cost, which is going to be pretty good. Now, I'm going to go ahead and... What else do we want? We need to look at cures here. What's the next thing we might need? You... These are all agglomerators, so these are all ways to upgrade with agglomerator, which is nice. We might want to look into, then, the... Oh, we need 2 scientists for this one. I was going to say the alternate delivery. Maybe not. Let's start unlocking the ionizer. We'll want it at some point. That'll be okay. Meanwhile, the ingredients guy, you are working on your first upgrade point, which I'm going to want to lower the cost of the silica crystals. I think that'll be a pretty good investment for us. We'll see how it goes. All right, production chains are running nicely. Oh, and we did get the other point. Yeah, hold on. Let's go ahead and upgrade the evaporator.
Insufficient upgrade points.
Oh, it's 2 points to get to the next one. All right, well, we've got some agglomerators, too, so I think it's worth increasing that. That will go a long way towards buffing our, there we go, our profit margin. Okay, the Explorer got its point, so we got a 10% discount on the silica crystals. This should really help our bottom line. Let's go see if we can find some more products, or some more ingredients. We can start getting more level 2 cures. What are you doing? Oh my god! That belt's been broken this entire time? So we have not been making the maximum amount of profit over here. I did not realize things were sitting so idle. Oh my gosh. That's terrible. There we go. How about over here? Are we good? Yes, we are good here. Okay. Profit per day is increasing. It'd be nice to maybe repay that loan. But, you know, need to spend money to make money, right? Okay. Can we, with this guy here, bring us to the next level? Needs high concentration. I think we can. I think we can improve this whole production chain a fair bit. What if I get rid of the 2 evaporators? Actually, here's a question. What's the cost? So an evaporator costs 9 per tick and increases it by 1. The agglomerator is 32 per tick and increases it by 3. Oh wow, it's actually much cheaper to use evaporators. It's much more space efficient to use agglomerators because this is we're paying 9. Even that's with a discount. So we were paying 10 per tick for concentration, right? 1 concentration for 10. This one had a base of 35. So we're actually spending here. We're spending 1.175 or 10 point something. We're spending a little over $10 per concentration point. So the agglomerator is more expensive to run, but gets a lot more stuff done. That being said, I'm thinking about replacing these two. One agglomerator, run the ingredients through there, and then split it for the upgrade line. I don't know, that would mean slowing down this line. Maybe we'll just come up with a whole new production chain altogether. I think we're going to do that. So, right over here, we're going to grab, first of all, we're going to import more of... do we want to start with this? We can upgrade here from 4 to 8. It'd be nice to get rid of the constipation completely. No, we're going to work over here, so we can't get rid of the causes of headaches. So we want to bring the acidic cloud fruit to a concentration of 8 and then run it to an agglomerator. So really, 2 agglomerators would bring it to a 10. So the question is, ease asthma, where does it need to be? Ease asthma, a 10 is fine, so that works out okay. And it's probably a decent way to go. Look at how many like freaking diseases and stuff are out here. There's tons of stuff in this game. Huge amount of time you're going to be able to spend. Okay, so, yes. We're going to import this. We're going to run you through 2 agglomerators. You start at 10, or you start at 8. Sorry, you start at 4. We could just bring you to 8. 8's all we need, right? So we could go 1 agglomerator and 2 evaporators that we know is cheaper. So let's do that. And then I think it has to run through an agglomerator for the final upgrade. Yes. This won't change its concentration. I don't think. Actually, I might be wrong about that. I might be wrong. So you're going to bring in... It does change the concentration. Ah, so we really did want to bring it in with the least amount possible. And you know what? I done goofed. I have one too many... Oh, I can just move you? Cool. Move you over there. Get rid of you.
Research complete.
Move you. That's kind of an awkward direction. Let's do that. Bring you in that way. So that's going to be sufficient for cures asthma. Eases asthma. Doesn't cure it, just eases it. And then we've got to bring its concentration down by 1 step. Because it got bumped up plus 3 running through here. Okay. So we're going to want to run it through a dissolver. Which is kind of an awkward... I guess like that. And then some pills.
New ingredient discovered.
Ooh. This, like that. So you're going to go there, and you're going to come out that way. And that way, you're going to run straight out, you're going to run there. Okay. I don't think we spend maintenance on these things that aren't running. So, new ingredient, what do we get? Foaming burium ash, which can be used to treat diabetes. Now, our competitors are already selling that, but I think there's still lots of room in the market. We can also upgrade it to cure hyperthyroidism. Thyroidism. I can't say that word. But that's interesting. So this treats diabetes, whereas the other one actually cures a disease. Which means, I guess, a shrinking market size. Which might not be so good. Alright. In terms of, you know, making constant money. I'm going to have the scientists just sit idle. That's going to be okay, and we can do some upgrade stuff. Are we paused? No. Oh, I wired these the wrong way around. Move. Like that. Move. Like that. There we go. Push the pills out. Excellent. And get them going to the exit. So we're wasting a lot of space here.
Product name
I suck
required.
at placing this stuff. So this is the Brussels breath reducer. Well, not really. It's fine. Okay, making good profit there. Excellent. Take a look at our drugs. Look at this. Air Belgium is actually going all the way up to a B rating at this point. 10% more value. It's really good at soothing coughs, and it very rarely causes headaches. Cool. It'll be interesting to see how these others go. Oops, I did not want to do that. Well, I think I am going to wrap up this episode here. I think this is a pretty good taste of how the game works. I think you can get a real sense, especially if you look at, like, again, this is one of the beginner scenarios where the entire tree is not actually available, right? That's explicitly part of the system, is like in the beginner levels, not everything is there. The game runs easier and faster. There's a lot of depth to this game, I think, and I think there's a lot of hours to be spent playing it. I really think this is a big winner. I love the you know, the little puzzle game that's going on here is interesting, but also the finding ways to, you know, find little optimization. What's the right cure to be selling at any given time? What are you doing with your competitors? And there's more and more advanced gameplay features as you keep playing the game. So I think you can come up with some really neat stuff going on. Thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.